Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another week and another episode of It's Monday. I just wanted to start this one off pretty informative, like I do sometimes. But anyway, I will be going to New York Comic Con this year. I got my pass in the mail the other day, which is kind of funny because they told me that any tickets or whatever passes ordered after the 14th, I'd have to go up there and actually stand in line and wait to get my pass at the con itself. But I ordered my ticket on the 16th, I believe, and I still got it in the mail. So I don't know if I have to print out the little printout thing that they gave me anyway. Maybe I'll just do it just in case, because I don't want to take that. Damn it! I don't want to take that 2-hour train ride all the way up there for nothing. So, anyway, I will be wearing my ACBA shirt, and there will be a ACBA army there because I know a lot of people are going to be repping their shirts at the con itself. So, anyway, I will be heading up there with Kenny and Danny from Iron Lantern, and most likely Mr. Mad Gus. He'll be joining us too. We're all going to take the train up together and get to New York probably sometime in the morning, just so that we have a chance to get in line pretty early and even meet up with the people that are already there, or even the locals and stuff. So if you guys are going, please let me know, comment or message me on Facebook, and we will arrange a meeting or whatever. I mean, you'll probably be able to find us because we'll all be in a group, most likely, like we did last year. Anywho, if you don't have an ACBA shirt, it doesn't mean that you're not in the club. Like if some guy comes over to us and says, "Hey man, I'm part of the ACBA group," and he doesn't have a shirt on, we're not gonna be like, "You're not in the club." So don't be afraid to come and hang out with everybody and just introduce yourself and all. Everybody's really cool. I know that a couple of people will be there from the community that I talk to on a regular basis. Like Slings of Web will be there, Fernando, Rocco, Boog. Hopefully Mike Fleck will be there. I know that he said that he wasn't sure yet, but it'd be cool to meet him. He's one of my favorite people in the group because we get along so well. So I wish our West Coast people can come up and hang out with us. It'd be nice to see Rick and JC and Billy and all those guys hanging out over there. But anyway, I'm not gonna rant too much. I know that Hasbro won't be here this year. There's not gonna be a panel or booth, so I probably won't be using my camera too much to inform people what's coming out and what the news is. But I will bring my camera anyway, just in case, because I've heard from some source, I forget where it was, somewhere online, that Hasbro will be doing a panel-like thing on the Thursday before the con, and it's going to be in like some other location in New York. I'm not sure exactly where. So if anybody can get get into that, take your camera and let us know what's going on, because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a talk about like their business or something like that. I'm not really sure if it's going to involve the future of the toys itself. Because there was a guy who came into my work and he told us that that Hasbro isn't doing too well, and I found out that this guy was from Lego. He came in, and we get people from companies all the time coming in and checking out how we display their products. So when he came in, he was talking about how he doesn't want Lego to be displayed with Mega Bloks, and I completely understand that because Mega Bloks suck. So he was telling us that Mattel has the #1 spot right now in the toy industry as far as like I guess sales and stuff like that, and products. So and he said that originally Hasbro had the 2nd spot, and he said that recently Lego has surpassed Hasbro in whatever it is, like sales or I don't know, but now Lego is the #2 toy spot. And you know, that, in my opinion, that seems kind of like embarrassing in a way. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lego has awesome products, like, you know, they're the best building blocks ever, and all that, but that's the thing, they're specifically Legos, just building blocks and whatever. Hasbro has billions of lines and toys, anywhere from, you know, like preschool to collector. So to me, that would be kind of embarrassing to be passed by a single distribution toy company. So maybe that might have something to do with the panel, or why they're not even at Comic-Con this year. So anyway, I'm not going to speak for them because I don't know, but it would, you know, it'd be nice to see if somebody can get some footage on that Thursday of what's going to happen. So anyway, I guess we'll just get things started here. And if you are going to be at New York, like I said, contact me, let me know. We'll all meet up, we'll all hang out, and yeah.
Alright, so here we go, flight stand tutorial. And before I start telling you guys what you'll need, I first want to say that I hope nobody else has ever done it this way. If you have, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take any credit for this. I just want to share with everyone the way that I figured out how to make them, and make it pretty easily and cheap. Okay, so first off, you're going to need one of these things. I don't know the name of them, but they're pretty tall. You can find them in Home Depot or any place that has like lawn gardening type stuff. This is, I believe, they're for like plants that grow like upright. What you do is you take the ends here and you stick them in the plant, and like this would be facing the other way, and the plant would grow up them like tomatoes and things like that. Now this is a smaller version. There's I don't know how many versions there are, but I know of two. There's this one, and then there's a bigger one. So I got the smaller one in case anybody is wondering. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a pair of lineman's pliers, or something that can snip through this metal here. See, there's little snips on the inside, and you're going to need something to bend it too with. So I use these because it does both, but you can use, you know, like bolt cutters or metal cutters. It's not that hard to cut, but you can't use scissors. Like, that's not going to work. So you're going to need something to cut through that, and you can also use these for the bending. They're needle nose pliers. You can pretty much use anything that, you know, bends it. You can even bend it with your hands, but I'm gonna use that. So you're gonna need that. You're gonna need coffee. You're gonna need 3D glasses. Okay. Then you're gonna need a lime flavored Tootsie Roll, and finally a floppy disk drive. This is personal. It has my name on it. So once you got all these ingredients, you'll be able to make the flight stand very easily. Okay? Alright, so first here we off, what you're going to do is you're going to take your coffee and you're going to take a sip. I prefer Wawa coffee. For those that are on the East Coast, mid-region, know what I'm talking about. For other people, you know, you can get away with Starbucks or whatever, that's fine. Your 3D glasses, you're going to take them, your Tootsie Roll, and your floppy disk, and you're just going to put them aside for now. You're not going to use them right this minute. Okay? And then, I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. You're going to want to have these, your linemen's or whatever you're going to use for cutting near you. So, first off, I'm going to show you one that I already made. There's the base. It doesn't look as pretty as everybody else's flight stands, I know, but you can see that well, you can't see that it works just as good because I didn't put a figure on it. let me grab Thor, since he's a relatively... Oh, this is kind of bent, so let me straighten it out a little bit. He's a relatively heavy, big figure, so that you can actually see that it works pretty well. And get him in the right spot. Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna get him perfect, but as you can see, there's the stand, there's Thor. He fits on it pretty well. He's kind of swaying because the base isn't very sturdy right now. It's all bent up, but you get the idea. So anyway, you can see that it works pretty well. What I did, well, I'll show you what I did, but this is my finished product of it, and this is how you make it. I kind of went backwards there, but here is how you make it. So, as you can see from this guy, I'm going to try and angle this a little bit better so that everybody can see. Alright, so better angle, and everybody can see all my stuff that's in this area. Okay, now what I did was I cut the post somewhere around here. I'd like to get closer to the thing here, just so that I, have a nice clean cut. But I kind of did it fast just to see if it would work first before I did a tutorial. So that's what I did, and I cut along here. Now I'm gonna take one and show you how I do it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to get as close to this ring up here as possible with your wire cutters, whatever they are, linemen's, and you're gonna want to cut that. I'm working my way through it. It's a little tough. You can, well, I don't know if you can see that because it's kind of just sitting there, but yeah, you might need to do it a couple times or turn it or something, because it doesn't always snap the first time. But you can see it's not that hard, it's not extremely difficult. Now let me make sure, sorry to be all up in the camera's face, but I'll make sure that you guys can see the rest of this. Okay, so I cut it there. Now you can see it's separated, and you want to keep this whole area right here, this 1/3 of the complete circle, and then you're going to want to get as close as you can to this post right here, and you want to snip this area so that you keep all this. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so if you're having trouble cutting it, you might need to get someone with muscles to do it for you, because it can be kind of difficult or whatever for those people that were born without muscles. So I'm gonna move the excess stuff, which you can create, let's say, 9 flight stands total out of this one piece if you want, and these are relatively cheap. I forgot to go over that. You can steal them out of your grandmom's garden. You can steal them out of your neighbor's garden, out of anybody's garden that has one. Or if you're not cheap like me, you can go and get them at Home Depot and other places, like I said earlier. So I'm gonna move this out of the way for now, because we're only making one at a time. Otherwise, I would have more hands to make more. Okay. Now, you got your straight piece, which is obviously going to be the post, and you got your round piece, which is going to be the base. So, your first bend, you want it to be the part where it comes out to the circle and then starts the circle or the square or whatever. You don't want to start bending around because it's not going to, you know, work that way. So you want to, you know, come out maybe, I don't know, we'll say like 2-3 inches. You can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be, you know, you don't need a tape measure to do this. So we're going to go about there, and then you're going to bend it. And this bends really easy. It bends a lot easier than it breaks. So as you can see, that wasn't too hard to bend. Now I got a pretty clean bend there. And then you want to just take the rest of it and like work your way around it with your hands or the lineman's. I'm going to use my hands because it's easier than, well, no, I'm not. I'm not going to use my hands because it's not easier because I'm making too big of a circle. So you're going to want to bend it in areas so that it can go completely around the post. So I got, you can see that I got like, you know, half circle or whatever going on already. And you want to try not to bend it on an angle like I just did, because it'll create a wobbly base. But I have a trick for that too, other than bending it, obviously. So I'm working my way around. You know, you don't have to like rush doing this either. It doesn't take too long. It'll be done, you know, 5 or 6 of them in no time. But you want to make it pretty even on all sides so that whatever figure you're holding up with this will actually stand up. You know, you don't want to give it, you know, no ground to stand on. Alright, so I'm almost done. And you don't have to like fully, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to fully connect all the way back, but you get the basic idea. It looks like that in the, you know, in the end almost. Whatever you want it to look like. You know, if you have a specific display that you need to, you know, make a flight stand so that it goes around a, I don't know, a rock, around a corner, you know, it's easy to bend it. It's easy enough to bend it so that you can get it around to the perfect way that you want. Okay, now, I'm not going to do this part on camera because I do not have this next thing with me at the moment. I have to go and find it. So I'm just going to tell you. Before you hang any figure on this, any of them at all, you're going to want to take a file. And I'm not talking about like a nail file or a piece of paper, you know, that was documented. I'm talking about those big, husky metal files that are used for work. Or you can go outside and scratch this on the ground. That's another thing. But you want to file this down so that there's not these shards. I don't know if you can see, but there's not any shards of metal sticking out. Because not only will they scratch the crap out of your figure, but they could damage it completely with, you know, getting all up there, and depending on where you're, you know, what figure you're sticking up on this thing. But yeah, that's pretty mangled. So you wanna shave it down. Now you can shave it down a couple different ways. You can do it on the slant, you know, like so that it comes to a point. As long as it's not super sharp, like, you know, use your common sense. You can get it in like little crevices if you want to completely round it off. You know, make a couple of different ones. If you want to make it flat so that it sits, you know, flush to something, you know, it's all about how you want to make it. That's what's cool about these. You know, you don't have to have them a certain way, and it's not, you know, all generic. You can make it the way that you want to make it. So the reason why I use this is because it's cheap, easy. It's laying around the house. You don't have to order it like a lot of people have been ordering those wires that you bend. You don't have to ruin a hanger. Hangers aren't as strong as this. This is a little bit stronger. And the fact that it already has a straight post and all you got to do is make one bend all the way around and you're good to go. You know, so it's pretty simple. And you can cut it to any height, you know, whatever you want. If you want to make a really small one, go for it. You know, like I said, it's all up to you. And there's another trick that I can teach you. Now, if you happen to have any wax, or what I like to use are those bendy strings. I forget what they're called. There used to be a commercial for them, but you get what I'm saying. I have a whole bunch of these. So what I do is I cut them into little pieces like this. Like this is a little ball. I'll put it on the end here like this. And that way I definitely would not mess up or scratch any of my figures. You can do the same, like say you don't have this stuff, you can put some electrical tape, or you know, just something to protect your figure from the end of this. And the cool thing about having the wax is you can get, you know, let's see, you can get almost any figure in a pretty decent pose, because it'll stick to the wax too. So we got a yellow jacket here, and I haven't tried this yet, so you're gonna give me a couple seconds. I'm gonna try and get him in a half decent pose, so it looks somewhat real. My yellow jacket's legs are so like tight, the leg joints, or the whatever they are, the hip joints. I'm afraid to break them, so I'm not gonna mess with his legs too much. But I'm gonna put him up on the flight stand right now, and I'm gonna try and just balance him out, just so that it kind of looks like he's doing something. All right, so as you can see, he's kind of on there. The wax is gonna start making him move, but you can get them in other positions where he won't fall off. Like I can see he's starting to go this way just because of the wax. But like you seen, I did that in like 3 seconds. So you can finagle it any way you want, and he'll actually sit. And I think he's actually in there. So you know, if you want a good spot to always get is right under the like butt cheek area. That's a good place to go. Up in the armpit, even the pegs on the bottom of their feet sometimes. See now, see him going. That's what I was trying to explain before, but that's all because of the wax. And I'm just saying, it's it's possible to use this. It's not a must, but like you can get almost any figure that has like a hole peg or some type of skirt area. You can definitely get them on them flight stands very easily. Like you saw Thor earlier. He gets right underneath the I don't know what this shirt is called, but this long shirt thing that he's got. You can even get it up in the underbutt, and it'll hold him very well too. And you can use their ankles and stuff as leverage, because a lot of times when figures are top heavy, and he's kind of top heavy, they want to swing forward. But if you have, you know, the foot positioned right, it'll stay in that spot. So this turned into a tip for how to pose your figures on flight stands, but at least I added this in here. Now, one last thing. The cool thing about these flight stands is that the material that they're made of, I got the wax all up in, but I'm gonna have to get that out. The material that they're made out of is a very flat metal. It's like unfinished. So not only that does that not show up in pictures, you know, very easily, because it doesn't have any gloss on it, so that the camera reflects off of it and stuff, so it's barely noticeable. You can paint it. I would suggest getting the right kind of spray paint, something that adheres to metal very well. And yeah, spray paint this guy up black. You know, if you have a blue background, spray them up blue. You know, use your imagination, and hide the flight stand as well as you can, because the more it's hidden, the better it looks. So you guys get what I'm saying here. So anyway, now what to do with these guys. You want to put these on, go over to your computer, put this in and look at all the old stuff that you have saved on here and enjoy a piece of candy at the same time. Alright guys, thank you for watching this, and yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so it's haul time here. First off, before I get too much into this, I kind of want to stop doing the whole, hey, look at what I got kind of thing. That's never what I intended by my hauls. It was more like a sharing thing, because I noticed a lot of people, you know, enjoy sharing with each other. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I love that too. I love to, you know, share my figures and let people, you know, see what I come across. But in, you know, honestly, looking out from the outside in, it's kind of like, it makes me feel like I'm bragging, but I'm not. So I want to kind of stop doing that. So instead, I'm going to tell you why I pick up these figures and the cool things that you can do with them. So it might inspire somebody to kind of pick up these figures themselves. So here we have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer End of Days Faith. And I know this figure is relatively cheap as it is, like on Amazon and all, but I found her for $10. Apparently all the figures that I have behind her also I found for $10, but apparently they that was like a really good find according to some other people that I talked to this or about this already. Anyway, so like I said, this was a really good haul just all together, but most of you know that a lot of the custom figures, like of Mary Jane and a few other characters within the Marvel Universe, are made from this body. Personally, yes, I got this to do a Mary Jane. You know, maybe. I don't know. I got other custom stuff that I have to work on first, but since I seen her, I picked her up. So who knows exactly what I'm going to do with her just yet. But, I mean, not only are they cool base figures to use for other customs, you can also use them as pedestrians within your ACBA displays. So it's, you know, if you're not a customizer, these figures, you know, these Buffy figures, because they're so generic looking and they, you know, normal clothes, this, that, you know, whatever, they fit very well with your legends. Like, you know, you want to make a display where people are running away from the Green Goblin because he's blowing up stuff and Spider-Man's coming to save the day, blah, blah, blah. Well, she can be one of the people running from, you know, the scene or whatever. But, you know, not only do they come with this stuff, or come, like, you know, like a great figure already, they have accessories. Now, that axe, I don't know exactly what I can use it for, but, you know, at least it comes with something. It's cool that it comes with that. It has a stake over here and it has a knife over here. Sure, I can figure something out, you know, that can go with Bullseye, or, you know, accessories are just another excuse for me to buy a figure. But not only that, her arms can be swapped out and replaced with these ones. And the whole point of this is, if you don't already know, when you take those arms out, the jacket can come off, and you can put on the regular arms, and it looks like she has like a tank top or a sleeveless shirt on underneath. Not sure exactly which one it is, but that's what, you know, that's for. So this is a pretty cool figure to use, and there's a couple other good figures in the series. Actually, they're all pretty good. And mostly all Buffy and Faith. Actually, they all are Buffy and Faith. There's, you know, End of Days, Buffy, and whatever. I'm not going to go over it all. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one figure. But this is a pretty cool figure to have. It makes a good Mary Jane for, you know, even if you aren't a customizer, you can pass her off as Mary Jane. Maybe you can even paint the hair. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just what you want. So anyway, on to the next figure. I also picked up this Angel here from the Angel series. By the way, these are both made from Diamond Select, I believe. both of these series right here. So, as some of you may know, Angel is a character from Buffy Original who has his own series or whatever. Okay? Anyway, this figure I specifically picked up to make a certain custom that I've seen done with this figure, and I will give you full credit for this. Rocco the Great, I'm not sure if he was the only person who's done this, or if he got the recipe from somebody else, or whatever. He made a custom Tony Stark in this gear right here. I don't think he painted anything, and you don't have to, because he's already wearing like suit pants. He's got a pretty cool shirt on, and then a white beater on underneath, and all you need to do is put an arc in there and whatever, and then swap the head out. So it's pretty easy, simple custom, and I liked it so much that I actually wanted to buy this figure. So again, I got him for $10, and you can use him for anything. By the way, this is 50s Angel. I don't know why. That probably has something to do with the show. I don't know anything about it though. So anyway, not only does he come like that, you could again take the shirt off, put the arms on. He has a white beater on underneath. Looks pretty cool. It comes with some type of canister. It looks like something like a fake blood, or maybe it is real blood. I don't know. That he comes with that. He comes with an axe. He comes with a noose. So, time and space exclusive. I have no idea what that is, but I'm guessing it's a toy store. So there goes some other figures on the back. So yeah, that's why I picked him up. And then on to the next, we got I forget what Angel this is. It is Battle Damaged Destiny Angel. Again, I picked up the figure as a base body to use for any suited character. I actually plan on using it for anyone, like anybody who's just wearing a suit. I could swap out the head. It's not meant to be a specific custom. That's my idea here. And mainly, the whole reason I got this figure, really, to be honest, was for the goblet. And I just wanted a goblet to go with my Doctor Doom. And what better than this goblet? I just think it's perfect. It's very detailed. I was going to move the figure up, but I'll just zoom in on the goblets so you guys can get a look at it. Yeah, so it's very detailed, kind of cool. I think it would be good for Doom. And that podium, or whatever you want to call that, that can go next to Doctor Doom's chair for his goblet. And I think Angel's actually holding a pipe or something. I don't know. Could probably be used for something. But anywho, that is the Angel figure. And then next up, got myself a Hercule from one of the Dragon Ball Z lines. I'm not sure. I think this might have been the series that came out for the movie or whatever. But anywho, got him to fit in with my other Figure Arts figures. And I know he's a little bit smaller, not quite in scale or whatever, but I wanted to get a figure of him and a couple other characters that they're not going to make, just so that it, I have more than just those to fit in for a display, if you get what I'm saying. But I mean, the articulation's not too bad, but he's Hercule, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with him. His knees bend, it's enough for me. I think he has waist swivel and maybe even wrist. Yeah, wrist, single elbow, and swivel neck, and then I forget what this is called, like disc peg shoulders. So, I mean, that's enough articulation for me in him. And then I got Bulma here, who has, quite a bit of articulation too. But, again, she's just gonna be there, you know, just gonna be standing. And I'm gonna have her with my Vegeta, especially. I mean, I think she's only like 3 inches, which kinda, or 3.5, which kinda sucks, but still, it's nice to have. And then, I can never remember the name of this damn cat, but got him and, the ghost things that come out of, the, fusion version of Trunks and, Goten. I can't remember the name of that either, but anyway, these two came in a 2-pack. I got them at a toy store, so all this came together to be like, I don't know, like $50, so it wasn't too bad at all. And then lastly, at a local comic shop, not very local, but local in Jersey, I picked myself up another Ultron. Just had to. Figure's awesome. Gotta army build them. And I had, you know, a couple extra bucks on me, so got them again. So, yep, that's my mini haul, not mini haul, my pretty big haul actually for this week.